You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3! What? No soup for you!
What do Seinfeld, soup, and youth at risk have in common? Well, at this event, everything. At Soupfest in Hamilton, Ontario, thousands of people are helping youth in their community by grabbing their soup spoons. The annual event is organized by Living Rock Ministries, which works with Hamilton, Ontario's street-involved youth. Kevin Charles is special event coordinator.
Soupfest is a community event that we host and put on. Basically, it's an opportunity for the community to get together and sample soup from about 25 different restaurants. From there, they can judge on best soup, most unique soup, and best display. And the ticket costs are only $10, and that gets them the four 4-ounce bowls of soup.
Hamilton resident Gary Christensen originally came up with the idea. After pitching Soupfest to several organizations who turned it down, he brought it to Living Rock.
They kind of thought about it and said, what, let's give it a try. And the thought was, to raise money for at-risk youth in the downtown core. Gary was just a community member who approached us, learned a bit about what we were doing here at the Rock, and figured it was a great place for his idea to be birthed and to cultivate and grow.
Though the event is a lot of fun, Charles says for restaurants it's a serious commitment.
What most restaurants don't realize is that it's a lot of soup they have to make. They're making close to at least 50 to 60 gallons. There's no entry cost. All they have to do is provide the soup, provide an employer or employee that will be there for the day, to the head cook or manager, that kind of thing, just to manage the booth, heat the soup up, serve the soup.
Now in its 7th year, the event that first saw crowds of 1,200 people is now seeing crowds of up to 5,000. Organizers hope that number will double and that more people will support the ministry in exchange for hot cups of soup. What thousands of cups of soup help to support is Living Rock's breakfast program. On weekdays, youth can come and enjoy healthy, home-cooked meals. Karen Craig is co-founder and program director of The Rock.
Well, we never realized years ago, you thought you could only reach out to youth at night, but we have found that since we got our buildings, we have youth lined up in the morning, and we realized we could do a breakfast program, and that was also identified by our city as a real gap of service. See, they're coming out of shelters, they're isolated on their own, so they may be in an apartment. Moms with babies, the baby's up at 6 a.m., might as well head down to breakfast. And this may be the only really solid, nutritious meal that they get in their day. And so it's a very important meal, and so having breakfast together, talking and socializing, it's way more than just breakfast.
Through the breakfast program, Craig says, street-involved youth are introduced to the diverse services Living Rock has to offer, including the only youth-focused food bank in the city.
We found that this has been an incredible opportunity to get them immediately connected into positive activity after breakfast. So they're immediately joining work crews. They're involved in boxing and sports. They get involved in drug groups. We have Alternatives for Youth on site, which is outpatient drug counseling. They can get involved in going to the YMCA, doing basketball on Friday, and go to Just for Girls. We have a Just for Girls program on Thursdays.
Craig says misconceptions about street-involved youth still persist.
We've always said street-involved youth in that they are finding their identity on the street. It's not that they're necessarily all living outside, although many of them will live in parking lots and live under bridges and different things. That may be happening as well. And here they find a family, other youth, other troubled youth, trying to help each other.
Craig also says the reasons youth turn to the streets may surprise you.
I think the biggest shocker is the death of a parent for me. I mean, I don't know how my own children would handle if I wasn't there for them. So loss of a parent is way bigger than I would have expected. And also the mental health, substance abuse of families, so parental substance abuse, separation and divorce, trying to get to know this new partner of their parents is really, really difficult for youth. And so that's a background of a lot of the youth.
Through events like Soupfest, Craig hopes to see the ministry she co-founded with her husband 23 years ago maintained.
The youth deserve quality, and they deserve the best. We want the church to have The Rock as a place of urban ministry training, so we're putting a real emphasis on connecting again with the church community. We don't want to, be dependent on funding that's unstable. We really want to see programs like Soupfest really maintain some of the funding.
And with thousands of people attending this year, she may get her wish. At Soupfest, many of the people I spoke to recognize and support the important work Living Rock is doing.
Well, it is definitely a great cause, Living Rock Ministries. As myself as a Christian too, we just totally support the cause, and as well, you know, it's a win-win for everybody.
The huge crowd was a mixture of first-timers. Is this your first time at Soupfest?
Yes.
What do you think?
Excellent. I've never been here before, but it's excellent.
And Soupfest veterans.
When we come, we usually take a walk around, see what they have first, and then we go back and pick and choose what we want, and it's a great, fun day.
Oh, we'll be coming until they shut this place down. We'll be here. Okay. I can't get enough soup.
The Full Circle ladies were also at Soupfest dishing out the good stuff. Reporter Denise Lottie had a unique way of describing her experience serving Acclamation's Tuscan Peas soup.
I kind of feel like the soup Nazi, you know? I control the flow, I control the soup, you know? It's great. No, I love the idea. And I mean, in January, it's so cold. Warm soup is the perfect antidote, and it's just great to be part of this.
I found reporter and Soupfest veteran Cheryl Weber tucked in the back serving Brownie's seafood soup. And when she threw down a challenge, I decided to up the ante.
This is the soup that's going to win, so keep an eye on Brownies.
Competition, me, you, Melinda, and Denise, we'll see.
That's right. Well, you check at the end of the night and see who's going to win.
Okay.
It'll be here.
Okay.
All right, guys, step right up. It's called mulligatawny.
Even with the huge crowd, I could hear Full Circle diva Melinda Williams from across the room luring soup lovers to Colin's Brew House.
So I'm here just to kind of yell at people, tell them to come in. I've got a couple people already, like maybe 50. No, I'm just kidding. I'm exaggerating. I've already drawn in tens of thousands of people to try it, and I love this. What a good cause, and so much fun, and these guys are great.
And of course, I had to get in on the action too, serving curry carrot soup from Delina's restaurant. With over 24 vendors and thousands of people, the event was a huge success. So who were the night's big winners? The prize for most creative soup went to...
This is Thirsty Cactus.
Best display went to...
the Collins Brew House.
Drum roll, please. And the winner of Soupfest 2009 is...
Mulligatawny Soup Collins Brew House. The winners of the best soup.
So after 5 cups of soup and 6 hours on my feet, I was exhausted. And though I tried to sneak in a little nap afterwards, clearly I wasn't sneaky enough. At Soupfest in Hamilton, Ontario, I'm Bridget Antwi for 100 Huntley Street.